Linus handling right here. Ori in the trail spot. Louis, you're going to be snapping out of that corner. On the weak side, 2 side, we're going to have Marty, Elgin spaced, NBA spacing. We are going to be deceptive. We're going to look as if we're entering our pistol on the wing, which is what they're expecting because they've seen all our games from the last EYBL. Instead, Ori making a good seal here, sealing off. Make sure you catch that ball in prime real estate, top of the 3. Louis coming to set that flare. You might have a slip or a touch screen, so look for that, especially if they switch it. For Linus, exactly, for Linus' check. Linus being deceptive, coming level, breaking off. On the weak side, run a hammer action, Elgin coming off that. Ori, main focus is here. If you hear a connection, because we got something here, then you can turn, but main focus is on this. Yep. Let's go! To get stops on the other end. Connections are not there, especially on all the off-ball actions that they're running. So you've got to connect, and in those pick and rolls that they're running in the weak coverage, you're fighting over trying to cancel. Louis.
We can do a better job crushing the glass as well. We're all silent and watching.
Okay, so we gotta sum up. Number 1 is pace. Number 2 is we need to come out of this timeout, setting the tone with 3 great defensive possessions in a row. Even if they make them, we got to contest the next 3 shots and play with great energy, connections, getting ready to crash. Can we do that? All right, let's go. Okay, 2 adjustments. Again, our offense is good. Every shot we're getting is a good shot. Good rub shot. The defense is what we're going to speak about now. We're going to speak about 2 adjustments. Firstly, full court pressure. Whoever your check is, I want you picking them up full court so we can disrupt all the sets that they're trying to run. So if we can disrupt them here, even if they get down the floor, maybe it's 14 seconds and they can't run the whole set, or they're in a different position, they can't execute. They're a set-based team, so if we can disrupt them and we take them away from running sets, we have a big advantage. So pressure the full court. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Second thing is we are going to switch every action. It's got to be a switch under. So whether it's a DHO or a pick, as they are setting these picks here, protect against the reject, guide them to the picker, and as we switch, we're switching above the pick, and you are getting under to choke off the roll. So they cannot roll on you. That's how we're switching. If we can do this, guys, we are going to get so much more, especially in our transition scores. Linus, they're going to be talking about you're going to have a lot of gravity now. So they're not really going to be helping off you much. So let's use that to our advantage. For the next offense, you're going to be the picker in pistol flare because they're not going to be helping off you. So we're going to run it for Marty. Okay, we'll run it wide. So setting the flare to come middle, cut the 45 weak side ghost cut, but we'll run it for you. If you're not open, Ricky, and we're going to have it because they're going to be so attached to you. Okay, now, good job because we're in this game and it's 1 point. I feel like we're close to a run. I really, really feel it. I believe in it. So for the next 6 minutes, keep switching all your actions, but I want us to be even more disruptive here. So that means if we're the inbounder, we can go off even on a score to try and force off ball. Our offense is looking organized. I think there's some nice stuff in there. We're not getting coverage solutions every time, but there have been some really, really nice things going on, and I like the diversity. I would like us to start the 3rd quarter using a little bit more scrape so we can get some off-ball stuff going into our gets and picks to arrive alone. So let's use scrape exclusively to start, and then we can weave pistol in as we go. As this happens, we must think ghost cuts. We had a great one with you, Louis. I can't remember who the passer was. Yeah, it was a really nice action, and those will be there all the time because at Marty, as you said, they're helping very early. So as the low man, if we drive or cut here, this low defender is helping early and up. So the ghost cut is going to be there every time for you, especially if you're in that corner. So that's our second thing that we're thinking about. However you arrive down the floor with our natural arrival spacing into a zoom. If you're the second guy setting that pick, be quick to arrive after the DHO. And if you hand the ball off, stay here so that we remove the tag from the single side right here. On the weak side, if you're on the weak side, we're going to run a hammer action. So if you're handling and you don't get anything here, have a look on the weak side. Or as we drive it, if you get a reject or a split, we can look to on that weak side. Way to start. Let's try denying 4 when he gives it up. So it does mean we're going to lose a help defender. So the other 4 of you, you've got to be extra active, ready to scramble, get all over the place. So we're just going to deny him as soon as he gives the ball up. Offensively, the scrape is great. Now just think about it. When we get into the get, I want you to really think about pitch and slip or twist and slip the twist. Yeah. Try and get out underneath them. We also, if we do scrape into the picks, we only done 1 flip, and it was with Mikau, and it got the 3 for Linus. So let's also think, be patient as the handler. If you see the eyes of the picker, if they're like expressive eyes, or you see a hand signal, you know they're flipping, so wait for the flip, and we play off that. You can just say it. They won't know what it is, okay? Come on, we got it, let's go! So defensively, just containing, no gambles, nowhere number 4 is at all times. If they're trying to post, we don't need to help off them and give up 3s. We will take them one-on-one, just take them with that wall up, chest stop, but we're immediately crashing after. That's our defense. Offensively, we've actually got to keep the pace up. It's even more important in these last few minutes. Yeah. Even more important on makes and misses, we're bolting, looking for those scores. If we don't get anything in our half-court offense, we will go into scrape. But I want you to look for slips on the first one, if you have it. And on the pick being deceptive, look for your flips. We can hang with these guys, and that's why I was disappointed last time, because this can be a close game. So defensively, coming in the second quarter, we've got to keep the ball pressure that we finished this quarter with. I was much better. You 5 have done a good job of that. Now we're just going to speak about our offense a little bit. So when we have the ball here, especially when we're neutral, the trigger has to be called even earlier than normal because of the pressure that we're facing. And the scrape, we've got to look to run it more because I haven't seen it. So if we're in our, let's just say we're in our 5 out and we're trailing here, boom, boom, boom. The scrape, we got to, if you're the trail here, you've got to sprint and make an effort to get ahead of the ball. If he needs help here, you can set a pick, okay, and stay behind, but then you've got to get here because we need you for the trigger. So you're going into your screen away, and then we're coming off that looking for a get. Or it could be a flare, etc., play off that. So the trigger has to be called even earlier, and if you're the ball handler, you can't slow down and jog the ball. You've got to bring the ball up at pace, because if you slow down, they're going to pressure. We're being pressured, okay, and you see that we're being pressured a lot. We can snap back and set something called a chaos screen. So if you're ahead of the ball handler and you see they're really having a hard time, you can come and set a really tough screen. Make sure you're set. It's like a back screen, but on the ball handler's defender for them to go by and start dominoes. So if you see that the ball handler needs a hand, snap back, set a chaos screen. First offense. We are going to run a zoom with a weak side. Right? I really believe we can do that and show the improvement that we've had since last time. So, Max, you had a great chaos screen. I want to highlight that. So, you've got to keep thinking chaos screens. Early way to start dominoes, and then we're just applying 3 rules of dominoes. So, keep looking for chaos screens. If we're going fast and we're neutral, we've got to think of arriving alone. Even if it's a get or a pick, you have to arrive alone. So for instance, if you're filling corner and you want to run a wide get, you can't just come here and wait. You've got to imagine and be deceptive as if you're going to the corner, burst of speed, snap back. Same thing, if you're going to a drag, you've got to wait as if you're not doing anything, burst of speed, set there, arrive alone. You have to come into the triggers with an element of separation, so we have a small 2-on-1. You've got to find your window. The same thing we speak about with our penetration reaction. Find your window to receive the ball where you break 3 in a row. Okay, so that could be anywhere in this type of area. Anywhere. So we're looking to get that catch there. As soon as we catch it, right here, we're looking to play off the various 2-on-1s. And against the 3-on-2, it's really easy because you've got a 2-on-1 here and a 2-on-1 more specifically on this backside. So what we're looking for, I'm going to give you 2 options to play with, okay? Ghost cut, right there on the catch, working on your timing, or you can pin your own defender. So you can screen that defender, drift, and then we get that skip right there.
Can we play a flare with the, if he
passes in towards play.
Here? Yeah, we can try that.
Yeah.
So we're going to say this. Once we pass in from a 45, looking to pin in here or ghost, depending on if it's a shooter here or a non-shooter, and here looking to flare off that and go. So this is our zone break. If you need a reminder of it, ask me when we're out. But again, the things against the zone, really, the dominoes habits that we work on over time, where I drive and kick, think in practice when we do the 5-on-4, it's kind of the same things we're looking at. So the moment you have a gap and you attack it, we're getting that paint touch, finding your window, getting those ghost cuts, that's the way we can beat the zone even before we need this. Anything anyone else wants to say?
No, you go.
I'll just say, when like we're boxing out, well, I know like they're big and like they're physical, but there was one possession where it was like 3-4 in a row.
Yeah.
Like, we were boxing out, but we were just a bit too close to
the rim.
basket. Like we just try and box out like a bit further, so you've got the room to see where the ball's in the club and like catch it.
Or just
Great, Harry.
push them under the basket. Then it's like the ball always gonna bounce to another way, not under the basket.
Good.